We sweep all our roads.
I know you do. I know you do.
2-3 days after the oil.
As soon as we get this going, we'll get you right up
Right.
first, okay?
County, on the other hand.
We'll sign it.
Yeah, it's asked.
Alright.
Have you, I'm sure you've gone over around it since you live up there.
Every day.
Yeah.
Schedule the public hearing. Could just do it under report. That's not a big deal.
I actually asked the guys when they were working on it, when they were scheduled to come back up to do the sweep, and they of course knew nothing.
Okay. This is for, what you just handed me for the troopers fair.
That's all three finally?
Yeah.
Good report right there, Jackson. Got your name in it too.
I don't mind the bid, I like the price, but he doesn't state on it what he's doing.
Well, Leo did say he was more comfortable with value,
Well,
but you have to know.
Yeah, but you
can't do that.
Exactly.
So, I don't mind approving that based on that he provides
More detail?
detail of removal, disposal, putting in carpet tops, the carpet style too. Do you guys have a problem with that? So we move it down.
Can we put a time frame on it so that we can get it moving?
Well, I don't
Or
mind
maybe-
approving it based on that he provides to the town, materials, labor, you know, work to be completed, you know, as he's
Give
given
them,
the
give
stuff.
them 15 days,
You know,
and if not, we go to the second
and
round.
give him 2 weeks. Okay.
It's there, there's some detail.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna do that under, yeah, I need a detail on it.
I mean, the pricing's great.
It's already been painted, so we just gotta do the flooring now. So I'll do that under preliminary matters. Correction and adoption of minutes. Zach, can you take that?
Yes.
Jason, will you take the bills?
Yeah.
Correspondence, we have a letter to the Parks Department, thanking them.
Who is it from? Cause I can't read it still.
Jim and,
Roush, I know
Roush.
Roush is the last name. Mr. and Mrs. Roush.
yeah,
Wonderful.
Yeah, she's there every day, very nice of you.
preliminary budget's in, as everybody knows.
Good job, Marty. That budget. Another 7 years, no raises in taxes, folks, for the YouTubers out there.
Nice.
And even, Councilman Keating had asked for a raise in supervisor's position, $54,000 plus benefits.
That's
So he
not
could be a
true at all.
full-time supervisor.
You get your facts straight, John.
They are
No, they're not. I asked for 50 and no benefits.
50, and
And the assistant would go.
50,000.
Right, the assistant would go from full-time to
Crazy.
part-time, and actually would come in $4,000 cheaper than the current budget.
the
So I
assistant
have
would
it back straight.
the assistant,
Crazy,
the
full-time
assistant,
supervisor.
the assistant would stay part-time. He's correct.
Yeah. Shouldn't rejoice, Jeff.
Okay, so the preliminary budget's in,
It's in your head, you know.
the preliminary budget's in for the town. When submitted, I'm gonna schedule some work session, not work sessions, sessions with, department heads next week. I'm gonna try and get them all done in one day. And once I go through that, I'll let everybody know when we're doing it. So who's gonna attend, who can't. once we're done with that, I'd like to do one work session with everybody to go through it. After meeting with department heads and go through it, I think we can accomplish it. And then, tonight,
Do you have an idea on when you wanna do that work session?
I think I'm shooting for next Thursday. I'd like to shoot for next Thursday.
I don't know if I'll be back from my work, I have to go to Massachusetts for work.
Works great for me.
Well, I'm gonna put it out to departments that I'm gonna give a few days. Few different choices to everybody. And I'm gonna start them at 8:30 in the morning. And go one after another. So I'll email all you guys on that.
Yeah, which is on,
You know,
And it's not a work session, it's a,
departmental meeting.
yeah. Try to start that. Alright, I'll take the preliminary budget. Application for use of facilities, application for town meeting facilities, Boston Soccer League.
It's their end of the year meeting, it's open.
Okay, Jeff, will you take that?
Sure.
For soccer. Tony wanted to attend this, meeting for New York State. He hasn't been one, he says it actually went through it, so it's a good meeting, it's right up in Syracuse for rec. I had the opportunity to talk to him and go through it a little bit. He said, I think it'd be very beneficial for the meeting. He wants to know if you approve it for him. Anybody have any nay, say, yes, no? What do you think about it? Have you read through it?
I read part of it today. I'm fine with
Here,
it.
it's over
Yeah, I think there's some great stuff in there
Mhm.
for him to learn. I think it would be beneficial for him for what he does. You know,
does he have an idea on what parts of it he wanted to specifically attend?
there.
He's got a breakdown, professional members registration, 155 Tuesday.
Yeah, look at
Tuesday and
that.
Wednesday, move it.
No, wasn't bad at all. New York Safety instruction, workshop, intense training. It was
So 629.
629.
Yeah, I don't see a problem.
It had a ton of, if you start reading
Yeah,
through
it's got a
this.
lot of different things.
Yes, yeah, it really does. I thought so too. More than most meetings that we see that come through. I think this would be a good one, and it's not far to go. It's only up, I think, in Syracuse.
Yeah. Training's still running outside of Syracuse?
Oh, okay. Jeff, you wanna take that one too? Sure. Croppers.
Halloween party.
Halloween party.
Oh, I'm sorry. Halloween party. Zach, you wanna take that?
Sure.
Wanna do the croppers too?
Sure.
The croppers,
All of the dates are open?
Yeah.
That's for next year.
yeah,
Crackers are next year.
Okay.
yeah, the scrapbook people. Highway Department storage building. I think, I know, this is just to put it out to Don, the highway storage building, the cold storage. It's just to put it out to bid,
Right.
okay? I can take that one. So if we put it out to bid,
Jim has it all broken, it's all broken down, second page.
It's advertised for bid. The procurement procedure requires it to be advertised.
yeah, always.
so I call it in the paper tomorrow,
That's what I was getting to.
so, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I know we'll probably, I don't know if we'll make a cutoff date, if you call it in by tomorrow.
We will, even, yeah, the 20th,
Okay,
this year, I've got 10 business days,
okay. All right, so get it into the paper tomorrow and advertise it. You'll be there for 10 business days. Did he provide, that you can put on there, packages are in the clerk's office, and he provided enough?
so, yep,
Okay,
German policy, everything.
okay,
Everything.
all right.
Actually, Marty, sorry, 7 and 8 actually are linked together on the same
On the same
legal
sheet.
notice.
Yeah. That is for the 2018 pickup truck bid and the 2015 Chevy pickup truck trade-in bid. So, Jason, you wanna take, I guess they both go together.
Mhm.
So a request from, got any off of state, is anything on state bid?
Yes, the Chevy truck is on state bid.
Okay. Okay, so they'll have to just fight over how much they're giving us for the truck.
Right, I mean, you'll have to get 3 different bids from 3 different dealers.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. John Deere tractor quote.
That's for the Parks
This-
Department, and
yeah.
I don't know if everybody's heard, but now they come around and tell you on lawnmowers, anything over 20 horse has to have rollover protection on them.
Yeah.
2 of our tractors don't have it, the one we were thinking about trading in anyway, so this one's gonna go. The other one's only a couple of years old, so there's nobody that sells rollover protection, so I believe we'll be good with it the way it is for a few years until we update that one too, and then it's gotta have rollover protection too. So, this here tractor, the one we're trading in, I mean, it's up to the board, we can either trade it in, they gave us a price for it, or we could put it on Auctions International and see what we do with that. But that's up to the board. I mean, it's a bad time of year to be trading in a lawnmower tractor on Auctions International, it'd be much better in the springtime, but. So it's up to you if you wanna trade it in, they gave us a price on the old one, it's got over 2,000 hours on it, $2,700, which is okay.
Wait till it's hanging. You're not gonna use it that much in the winter, over the winter months, right?
Right. I mean, if you want us to
Wait
keep
till
it till spring and put it on Auctions International, maybe we might be able to get 35, $4 for it. So,
Well, I mean, why don't we just throw it up there now to see if we get that? And if we get it, we
We
get
can
the
always, yeah.
3,500 or 4,000. If we don't get it, we don't have to accept it.
that's exactly right.
You know what? See what we get for it, and if we get for it, then you
Be nice
don't, you
not to
actually
have
don't
to
have to
store
buy
it.
the new ones.
So what's gonna replace it, the compact utility, right?
Yeah, it's a bigger model with a rollover, not a cab, but it's rollover protection.
It's got that bar that goes over, that you can fold down, that's in with screws.
Yeah. Well, that's, goes back to the budget conversation we had about equipment replacement, putting the proper amount of funds in there for equipment replacement.
So,
I'm really bad with the new numbers, what would that compare to in old times?
But compared to in what?
Yeah, like an old, no, we used to have like, what, a 7 series, is it similar size
The
to
one
that?
we're trading in is a 740.
Okay, is it similar in size?
It's a little taller, the mower deck is about the same size, horsepower, a couple horsepower more, but it has the rollover protection, which is mandatory,
No.
so.
so why don't we do this? Why don't we just put it up on there, put our bottom line at,
I can call Auctions International, and if we don't get what
If
we
they're-
pay more than 2,700, we can,
yeah, why don't we set the low one at, what we'll accept is 3,000. Anything?
Well, we don't have to put anything like that in there, I mean, if we don't get 2,700, we can just refuse it and say we're not letting it go. But we can tell them that, or they know.
Yeah, I think that 3,000 would be,
There was a 595 on the same website this week, it sold yesterday, it's smaller, but it was a 4-wheel drive, which ours isn't, you know, but they got 3,800 for it, I believe. And it was much older, but it didn't say how many hours it had, ours has got a lot of hours on it, so we might do good by putting it on the website.
I think just put it up on the website, Bob.
Okay.
Why don't we just table it then? Table it, put it up on the auction site, but the minimum will take us 3,000.
Okay.
Maybe we'll get more.
I would think we would,
I would think we would too. It's in great shape.
but it's up to you, you wanna put it in now, or do you wanna hold it for a few months and put it on?
How much are you using them all?
Well, I mean, we can use it till fall, and then we can sit, it's gonna sit in the garage all winter anyway. It can sit in the shop, and the first thing in the spring, we'll put it on, the auction site, and that's the best time to sell
I'm just
it.
thinking if you're waiting a whole nother season to put it on.
Oh, we'll still get the new one now, right? Or do you wanna wait till after the first year and get it?
I think that I would sell that first one and then get the second one. I would put it up on auction right now, just to see what we're getting. If we
Okay.
get it, then just buy it at the next meeting.
Alright,
If you get 3,500 for it, it's
I mean, we don't have to get the new tractor now.
We
it's
just
not a
have to
problem.
vote to give them approval to put it on.
well,
the
here's what
auction site.
happens though. You get that price now? Is that gonna be locked in for how many months?
It might be till spring, I don't know, he didn't say that.
Right,
He did.
what if it goes up $300-400 in the spring, you know, then you lose what you're making on the tractor to go for it, so,
Hard to say.
yeah. I guess I would just start off, do you need it right now? Can we put it up for auction?
We can put it up for auction,
Put it up for auction.
cause in
I think so.
another month, we'll be done mowing with it,
Yeah,
for sure.
I think put it up for auction.
That's
Do you guys
like I
have any
said,
problem with that? I mean, if we don't get it, then you just wait till spring.
Like
Put
selling
it up
it,
front for sale sign that too.
well, this auction site goes to thousands and thousands and thousands of people, I mean.
Yeah.
Well, you never know, somebody could do that.
Right. Worth a try.
Zach, do the historical. I take it those dates are all open?
Yes, there.
Okay. All right. Wireless tower.
I'm fine, is that the tower down by the highway department?
Yeah, what do you think of that, Bob?
I don't have a problem with it, but I don't like where they got the location. Nobody's come down and talked to me, if they wanna put it coming down the driveway off to the right, you know, a spot there, but I don't like it right next to the highway building, so I don't have a problem with it down there, it's a different location.
What do you think?
I think Jeff told him to come down and see it
I
too.
did, I took them multiple times.
Yeah, well, nobody's come down.
I'm 90% sure I sat in the room while Jeff told them to go
It's the
talk
highway
to.
building here, right? And they wanna put it here.
Here's
The
your.
driveway comes down here and the woods is up here, I think up in this corner.
I wanna see the cell lease. I'm
The
gonna
field
pull
is here,
Hamburg's
comes
too on
across,
this.
this field comes across.
Hamburg has a
Below
cell
the
lease with
field,
them?
But. I'll
I'm gonna-
put that
I'm gonna,
aside.
stop.
And I have
Did you
no
get it?
problem with it.
I'm sorry?
Did you get Hamburg's lease set?
No, I don't have Amber's.
All right. Whose did you pick up?
I was just gonna say.
But nobody's ever come down and seen me.
I've told them multiple times, you didn't call out, you didn't call out.
Amber's also through has one.
Alright, well, I haven't stopped.
I'm gonna pull Hamburg, see what their lease says on for theirs.
Bob, where you?
Not that it's
sorry.
based on,
Where's-
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different carriers on it.
Oh, okay. Just a little
So
further.
Donald's not a boilerplate template, but ours is much more comprehensive.
So,
We referred it to the planning board, and he can't get going unless he has a signed contract, he can't get, if he doesn't have a signed contract, he can't get funds to get his due diligence done to go to planning board.
planning board doesn't cost them anything to go to. I know you
He has
told
to
me.
have a survey done, he has to do, he has multiple things that he has to hand into planning board that cost them money.
The lease agreement, the lease agreement. has
But-
numbers.
In all fairness, everybody else that comes to planning board does their due diligence. Any subdivision, right?
But if we say no, goes to a vote, we say no, he just wasted all that time and money. Mike's gone through this multiple times, he's talked to Hamburg, it's the same lease Hamburg has, it's the same tower, same
It is the
tower
same
company.
tower, same tower company. I watched Hamburg put theirs up. I was there with Sean Peretti. I'd like to, Jeff, I just want to confirm with the dollars and cents, what the town will be receiving from them.
No problem.
And being that Mike's not here, just to make sure that he's gone through this whole land lease agreement.
Okay.
I think it's a great idea for the town, especially for,
The emergency
yeah,
services.
emergency services. But,
Almost imperative is a better word.
um, football press box,
We got quotes in.
okay?
They far exceed the threshold of the procurement procedure that we ran towards. We'll have to go back and do some value engineering to the building. What we designed was their wish list. Football board said they adamantly do not want it moved over to the other side. They just want it on that hill. Position of it, the location is avoiding the trees. It was a facility with no interior finishes, just came in super high, way above what Jim thought it would come in at.
Higher than what
So
I
we would
thought,
have to,
Yeah,
look at some value engineering, go to a stick frame, one floor. So we're just gonna have to refuse both these bids and go back to the drawing board and, look at something that's more economical for the taxpayers. I mean, football's got some money in the bank, so I don't know.
instead of 2 floors, shrinking it down,
Yeah, making the footprint small, they go into one floor.
right?
They lose the storage of the golf cart and those types of things that were,
You got a lot of places to store a golf
Yeah.
cart.
yeah, so, I would say we make a motion to refuse the bids and go back to the drawing board.
Okay. Okay, we'll take care of that. You actually want to do that in the preliminary?
We're under old business, I'm sure. What do you want, Mike?
Yeah, I just don't have a list of the new business, so.
It's on your second sheet.
Oh, top, okay. I'm looking at the old print. All right. Yeah, that's higher than I thought it would be too, for a stick building.
Well, it's locked, it's split lock, split face lock, it's an excavation, and it's just, it's prevailing rate.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we can shrink that down and shrink the footprint down, and so 2 stories go down to 1 story with the, okay.
If he gets it done by November's meeting, fine, if he doesn't.
Well, we got another whole year because football's over anyway.
Yeah.
We got all year to worry about the football building.
Okay. I got 2 gentlemen here, I don't know,
Yes.
do you want to,
What's it?
do you want to go address the board on something?
I do, I was actually looking for the town attorney to be here also. I spoke with Mr. Telak Monday, Hillcroft Drive. There's a culvert that's in the road that's in disrepair, it needs to be replaced.
Wait a minute. It's not in the road, and it's not in the road right away.
I
It's not on
actually,
Hillcroft Drive.
I
Okay,
have the legal
go ahead.
documents that show that it is the roadway.
It
Everyone's,
used to be the roadway when it was pulled shill before it was cut off when the expressway went
It
through.
is
But go
never-
ahead.
it has never been changed. And the reason I can say it's never been changed is everyone's deed that goes down that road says that they own to the center line of Hillcroft Drive. It doesn't show any easement to a private or abandoned road. I have contacted the town attorney several times, my attorney, and I've never gotten anything back saying that the road has been abandoned. And I have no information showing that it's abandoned, even though it's been requested. My attorney in my last letter that went to the town said if it is not abandoned, then that my family, who has taken care of it for the last several years, seek reimbursement. Also, the town attorney never responded to that one.
What do you mean reimbursement?
Well, I've paved it, I've cleaned the ditches,
So you wanna be paid for that?
No, I don't want to be paying for any of
Okay,
it.
alright, reimbursement means,
Right. But the reason that was put into the letter is because if it is not an abandoned road and I've been plowing it for 7 years, I've paved it, I've cleaned it, I've cleared the ditches, I've mowed it, nothing's been done, and if the town owns it, technically, you should be doing that.
What's
All
your,
around
what's the address on Hillcroft?
There's 4 addresses actually.
What's
My
your,
address personally is 6089 Hillcroft.
and what is your name?
David, last name's Appa, A-P-A.
So, okay, beyond that, we'll go back to your
Okay.
drainage thing.
So there is a 4-foot culvert that is, what would you say, about 50 foot up that section of the road?
50 foot off the road right away approximately, yes.
Okay.
Or a little more maybe, but 50 foot.
So about 50 foot.
Off the road right away.
Okay.
If you wanna call it the road right away, okay. That's negatable between the two of us. The bottom of the culvert, about a 2-foot span is rusted right away. I'm starting to get water down the sides of it that are going through the side, and I'm starting to get some of the soil deteriorating on both sides of the road itself. I blacktop that whole straight myself, and the blacktop's starting to sink into that area also. I'm looking to get the culvert replaced, if it's the town's responsibility, which it still, from, I've talked to the town assessor, there is no lot number, it is municipality property, so there's nothing that shows that it's an abandoned road, there's nothing in record that shows it's an abandoned road. All of our deeds show that we own to the center line of Hillcroft Drive, which is only possible by that being a road, not a private road. So if everything's reading that, I don't see paying money out of my pocket to replace the culvert, that's not my responsibility. I've already, like I said, several years of plowing, mowing, ditch clearing, paving, patching, out of my own pocket.
The top of Hillcroft.
Correct. If you'd like to see a map of it.
Yeah, bring it back over there. Let's see. You got it?
So when I reach the top and I hit the pond,
No,
No.
it's right when you get to the top and you make the sharp bend to the left of the road, it goes driveway, it goes straight up through. When you uphill property, you get to the top where the road bends to the left,
Yeah.
his driveway goes straight.
driveway goes straight way in the back, the house way in the back that sits
Correct.
near the thruway.
My house is the blue line.
Correct.
Okay, so where's the,
This is my property right here, that's what you're seeing.
yep,
This is Hillcroft Drive still, as it stands on map, as it stands on my survey from 2010.
northerly line of street right away,
Correct.
center of highway. Where's this culvert?
It's this red outlined area.
Where, down here?
I'm sorry,
That's okay, I just wanted to
right where the cross is.
Oh,
And then the bottom of the culvert itself is,
Oh, okay, so we're down the road.
it's right at the curve.
Here, that's here, it's where
Correct.
Deer Run takes off, right?
Right, it's basically where the two intersect.
And so, this guy comes across it, this guy comes across it,
This one also.
and he comes across it.
Correct.
So Bob, what's the deal?
The deal is it's an abandoned old road, it used to be Polish Hill, it was abandoned when the 219 expressway went up through, and what year was that, in the late 70s? What year did you build your house up there?
It's 2002.
did you buy that one way back in the woods next to the expressway that was,
Do you still have the one?
I just gave it to Jason for a second. I know the hill,
Yeah, mine's the last one that goes to the 219.
right next to the 219.
Correct.
Yeah, that house, I remember that house, that was for, the bank was selling. Did you buy it for the bank?
No, there was a couple that had bought it before me, and
Okay,
I'm actually the fourth owner of that house.
okay. I don't know how it is. All right, so Bob, you're saying that this road right
Well-
here, this is not, what?
That's not a town.
You're saying that's not a town road?
It's like, remember a few years ago, my friend North Collins got sued and got in trouble. He tried to fix a road that was closed for more than 7 years, Rocky Mountain Road. And he went to court and he lost because it was closed for more than 7 years, and he had no right to go in there. It was an abandoned after 7 years, it's totally done.
Can I add one other thing? On the opposite side of the 219, Polish Hill Road, that side is maintained, correct?
Correct?
So there's two houses at the end of that one. There's one right at the turnaround and one halfway down. And that side's maintained.
That road was never abandoned over there.
Okay, so why was that one never abandoned, but four houses on the other side was?
There wasn't any houses over there on the other side at the time. There was on the other side.
Bob, when they abandoned this, did Hillcroft stop right at Back Creek? Right where, what's his name's house is? Meads used to be in the
Well,
back?
Polish Hill used to go all the way up through, and I remember when I was a kid going up there four-wheel and drinking beer up on that road.
Like a dirt road,
It
right?
was a bottle road that was nobody living
Okay,
And I'm sure these are everyone's fees that
So-
show.
in. I guess that's something for Mike Cubioka to,
I'll probably, maybe I have to go back in town records.
Right.
Go back in town records to see actually,
This is
because
my
it used to
part of
end
my
right at that
application.
cross, and that used to be a dirt crampy road going up
Over a year
the
ago.
whole road, all the way from the
all the
bottom.
way to the top. I mean, you've been up there, I remember going up that too. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll have to go back in town records for you, Mr.
No problem.
And I'll get with the town attorney.
Each deed reads.
Do you mind if I keep this?
You may have that, if you'd like each of the deeds that are off of that property, you may have them also.
Okay.
If you'd like my letter from my attorney, you may have that also. You can have everything except for my survey, because I do not have a second copy of that.
That's okay.
We're good.
I don't need it.
Dave, are you staying for the meeting, or are you gonna scoot?
If you'd like me to stay, I'll stay.
Before we go upstairs, I just wanna give you my email address, can you just send a digital copy?
Councilman Z. Munger. If that's the one you'd like me to use. I'll hang out though, it's not a problem.
All right, if you give me maybe Tuesday next week,
Okay.
because it's gonna take a while for me to have the old records of that road, you know.
I mean, the road is maintained around the corner of that to where it changes to Deer Run. That's obviously still a plowed road,
Right.
which the shoot off, I'll agree with Bob, has not been maintained by the town since I've been there, that's several years. Last year I spoke to Bob, he said they haven't maintained it in 12 years.
No, I
However,
never said 12 years.
you told me since you've been highway superintendent.
Well, a long time before that, though. I've been here 13 years and haven't been touched since then.
Okay, well, I'll retract the
Okay.
date, but you haven't maintained it since you've been in.
Correct.
So, it hasn't been maintained, I'm okay with that. As you can see, my first letter in there was, I'm trying to get it to be an abandoned road, because if I'm gonna maintain it, it should go back to the property owners.
I agree with that.
And if it's going to be abandoned, I wanna know the date it was abandoned, because obviously the last several years, I've improved it, I've plowed it, I've, done all the work on it, and it's out of my pocket. I have thousands of dollars into it.
Right.
So, I just want it either fixed if the town owns that, obviously the culvert's there, if it's not on the records, I'd like it replaced. If it is an abandoned road, then it's an abandoned road, and, it is what it is, so.
Okay. All right, we'll get to the bottom of it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. O'Halloran.
Mr. O'Halloran.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm here about the culvert underneath Polish Hill Road that diverts the water from the south side of Polish Hill down into my property and other people's property.
Marty, we've been there, town engineer's been there,
I've been there.
Zach's been there. We've cleaned out Mr. O'Halloran's back ditch, I think twice since we've been in office. Bob may have done it once before that too, I'm not quite sure. For the life of me, I can't figure out why that culvert was put in. Maybe Bob can shed some light on this, where it crosses, does a 90 and crosses Hillcroft, and then directs the water down behind Mr. O'Halloran, which in turn comes down across Colonial and just wreaks havoc on this Lasco's property.
The cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what Mr. Haller's, he's just got to a dead end here, nothing seems to be getting an answer. I guess we need to have Bob shed some light on maybe why that was ever put in to go that way,
Well,
or.
if you look at the whole thing, I believe that was the way the natural flow of the whole thing went before, when Polish Hill was there, not just when Hillcroft, because that was Polish Hill up through there at that time, and that's where the water
Yeah, but
flowed.
that culvert wasn't put in, it was put in after that.